Hey y'all, so thank you all for subscribing to Traumatized Girlie, and I am so grateful that so many of you guys have already made the not necessarily the switch, but came over here and joined me on this conversation, because this is where my mind and my heart have been, mindset and just growth wise and just self-development wise, right? And so I want to talk about this because I think that this is something that people don't realize, and it's slightly in relation to the subconscious, but it's also just about overall who you are and how you carry yourself and how you function through your day to day, right? And so that is identity and awareness shape our reality. Identity meaning, who are you, right? Who do you say you are? How do you carry yourself? Do your actions align with who you say you are? Who are you being? And I know that if you're in the manifestation community, you have heard that question. Who are you being? And a lot of people say that in order to obtain your manifestations and things that you want, you have to embody that version of you that already has it. Right. But what I think a lot of people don't understand is the journey of getting there from whatever their current state is, especially if they're unhappy in life, shifting from that current state to their desired reality. And it's all happening within, and it's all happening up here as well. So who do you say you are? Who are you being? What are you actually embodying when it comes to your behavior and your actions, right? And this is tricky, right? So let's say you're a person who dwells in drama and negativity all day. And let's say maybe you're overly active online in negative communities and negative behaviors and things like that. Let's say that consumes a lot of your life. And then let's say that maybe you join that community or those communities unknowingly. And then let's say that you probably just wanted to escape from your real life, which may also be a dumpster fire. But because you never really addressed your real life, here you have a duality of your real life and your online life being a complete dumpster fire. Yeah. And you guys already know I'm speaking from experience. This gets dangerous subconsciously, right? Because the universe and the world that we live in today does not give us what we want. It gives us who we are being. So let's say I want to be a wealthy bad bitch. I don't know. Well, let's just say I'm going to use who I am, and I'm going to display the contrast, right? Let's say I want to be a badass, bougie ass housewife, stay at home mom, badass bitch who, works, stay at home mom jobs. Maybe I work online, and maybe I also, do real estate and have real estate on the side, right? And that's how I earn my income, right? Let's say that's what I want, right? But let's say that it's hilarious looking back now. I'm so sorry. But let's say day to day, I argue with people online. I make negative content. I have panic attacks and get depressed and have all these negative emotions that I am identifying with, which that's one of the worst things that you can do. Never identify with your emotions. My emo girls, my sad girls, don't identify with it. It ruins your life. Okay, we think it's cute when we're young, and we think we're all angsty and it's trash. And it's a trap, and that's a whole different thing. You can like the type of music that you like, but honestly, please use discernment, because everything is manifestation. Everything is. It shows up in your life whether you are aware of it or not. So let's say that, I want that bougie ass, wealthy ass, life, right? I want to do all these things, but I'm embodying very low vibrational bullshit. Let's just go ahead and be honest. I'm embodying low vibrational bullshit. So because the universe gives us who we are being, there is really honestly no way in hell, even in the most polar opposite of universes, there is no way in hell, girl, the universe is going to grant you all of your wants and desires while you're being a negative ass, trash, sad, miserable shell of a person, of yourself, who doesn't even know who you are because you haven't even spent time with yourself to like form an identity. Like, because who are you, right? Because who are you, right? Who are you being? What are you embodying? What is your mindset? What do you believe about self? There is no way in hell you're going to get a positive, beautiful, loving, fulfilling life that's, you know, full of like just joy, abundance, peace, and everything. Which, yes, all those things come from within. But like, it's kind of hard to let the peace and the love and the abundance in when you're like literally blocking it out by being a negative ass bitch. And it's like, you know, I understand, right, for those of you who probably have endured like intense trauma and have gone through things. And I'm going to say this very gently, and I'm going to slightly hold your hand. I'm going to hold your hand like this because I'm that friend. I'm going to hold your hand like this. I'm going to like kind of shade you. I'm going to look at you. There comes a time and a place where you're going to have no choice but to get the hell up off the goddamn pity pot and come back to self and recognize yourself as the bad bitch that you are. And then when you do come back as said self, you take no bullshit. You take no negativity. You don't entertain no nonsense. Like you just like, you set yourself up for success by automatically being successful, and that's embodiment, right? You could, you know, be in your struggle era, but as long as you're embodying success and you're not dwelling in that negativity, let's say you're not online all day engaging in BS, like maybe you start reshaping your algorithm. Because this happened for me, like literally like all my stuff on my algorithm now is like, it's like either all mindset, it's like either Shira, and obviously mommy stuff, and you know, wedding planning. But that's that's aside from everything. Because you know, and also investment stuff. So like, you know, Stephen Graham, I love his channel. And like, what's it, the Clear Value Tax guy? I love him. He also talks about investments and like banking and like the money news, which is great. Long story short, like that's what I consume my life with. So like, it's my my algorithm went from being bullshit, drama, mess and tea and hate campaigns and horrible like, you know, communities and stuff like that, and people who are honestly like, let's just go ahead and call it a spade, like they're going nowhere in life, right? Like, they're going nowhere, right? Like, let's just call a spade a spade. Like, let's go ahead and be honest. Like, I went from following people like that and engaging with people like that day in and day out to literally shifting my awareness daily to where it's like, even when little things probably from the past or whatever are trying to enter my awareness, I immediately just reject it because it doesn't resonate. And I almost am like, what? Like, I almost feel like I glitch sometimes when I see certain things because I'm like, what? Because I started fading out of that level of awareness, like honestly, years ago. And now it just doesn't resonate. It doesn't like equate. And it's just like not who I am anymore. And so now it's like, I see it, it's like, this is nonsense, right? So it's like, I don't entertain bullshit because I'm literally focused on other things, because where your focus goes, energy flows, right? So it's like, you're either going to focus on bullshit or you're going to focus on the betterment of self, period. Like, and I can't stand how our world is. And this is another reason why I feel for women, because I feel like women, because we are more emotional beings, we often make the mistakes of identifying with our emotions. Emotions are just temporary feelings that move through our body. You feel this way, and I promise you that feeling will be gone by tomorrow. Now, I understand if you deal with like depression and like chronic depression, or maybe you deal with chronic anxiety and panic, and that lasts for a few days. honestly, even those emotions and feelings are temporary. They are not who you are. And I cannot stand it. And this gets set up for women, girl, even in pregnancy. Do you know how many times I would have to literally put not interested, don't recommend? Women who are pregnant and then postpartum, the first thing you hear is postpartum depression. No. Honey, like, I'm over here looking at like little tiny baby outfits. Like, I'm over here planning like my best life. And I'm just like, in my like awareness, I'm like in my world, like, well, I'm gonna live my best life, period. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I literally even started telling myself, like, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna be having my baby regardless. I really don't care. Like, that's always been my mindset, right? And it's like, do you know how many times I had to flip off of the postpartum depression mess? It's like, I get it, but like, I don't identify. And some people believe this and some people don't. And I get it, because this is where people get like, I don't know, the whole trigger warning bullshit, which I don't believe in that. I'm not going to handhold like that tightly on this channel. I'm not going to step around people's feelings and emotions on this channel. I did that enough on the Life of Free Spirit. I feel like I did the world a service enough. I don't have to censor myself because, you know, people are too sensitive to hear what the fuck I'm saying. I don't care anymore. I don't. And people need to hear it like this in order to get it through their heads, because sometimes this is the way people learn, when you are straight up in their face, because people are living a life to where they're so deluded in their bullshit and they don't see a way out. So you have to kind of like aggressively like wake them up, because to be honest, that's how I had to wake myself up. And a lot of this work I did by myself. Like, even though I had certain YouTube videos and things like that, like, and certain like YouTubers who I liked, mind you, I never received any one-on-one coaching from anyone, because I understood what they were saying, but the true method is applying it. Like, even me, as I build this channel and, you know, however far it grows and everything like that, like, it's going to come to a point to where it's like, are you just consuming content, or are you really living your life? Right? And I've always been a person that lived my life despite everything. Like, granted, like, yeah, like, even when I was, you know, dwelling in like a lot of negativity and had like a horrible self-concept and all this bullshit, right? I always lived my life, right? I've always, you know, gone to concerts. I've always had like a lot of friends. I honestly, like, despite, you know, family experiences like in the past or whatever, I've always had good family foundation, and I'm blessed for that. I've always have had interests and hobbies outside of, you know, the internet and stuff like that, even though, you know, I've always been passionate about having my platform and like living my life. But, you know, other hobbies like, you know, music, and even like, honestly, it's a lot of it's a revolve around music, because even down to like volunteering at festivals and stuff like that. Like, I you know, I love it all, right? And all that stuff, like, I'm into all of that. So, and now that I'm a mommy, like, you know, doing like design type stuff like that. So it's like, I'm like literally overly consumed with like my interests, right? And things that I enjoy. You have to figure out what it is that makes you you and go at that. And while you're working yourself out of the deep, dark depths of the bullshit of your reality and all that you've ever known and experienced, you need to really ask yourself, what are you entertaining? What are you watching? And who exactly are you being? Like, and when you really sit and think with yourself, even though it might feel like a slap in the face, it's gonna dawn on you like, oh, well, no, duh, right? And a really great way to deep dive, deep dive into who you are and where you are internally, mentally, emotionally, everything, is journaling. Because what your journal is going to do is expose you. So you journal for long enough and you're just like, you know, whatever. Let's say you're in a horrible, you know, emotional like spiral, right? And then so you start journaling, right? And you start journaling like, I can't fucking believe it. I can't fucking get I fucking hate everyone. Dude, I'm talking from experience, so it's like, dude, I don't even care, bro. Like, but okay. Your journal is gonna expose who you're being, right? Like, so let's say you journal and like some of your beginning entries are like, I fucking can't believe it. It's it's like, what is it? Was it fucking Dobby or whatever the fuck from Lord of the Rings? Or like that little voice, like the precious, but like just even more pissed, like right. And then like, let's say like you're the type of person that journals and like, you know what you want, you know what you desire, and you also know what you deserve, right? But it's like you're such an angry, negative little ball of bullshit. And so like you start off your journal like all angry and all pissed, and like that's your tea, unfortunately. And then let's say you journal or you say something like, I can't fucking wait until I'm fucking wealthy and I can shut up. Honey, I used to say that type of shit back in the day. Child, please. This was even before I started journaling. Like, to be honest, I caught myself by just because I used to on Life of Free Spirit channel, like I would like go live like daily, like let you guys like all the way into my life, and it was like way too much bullshit, right? Dude, like I started catching myself like low key, like, and I had to analyze after everything transpired. Like I didn't get around to all of this myself as far as like a self-reflection type thing till like way later, right? Like that's the only time I had time for it, right? And made time for it. But I caught myself. Like I want all of these things. Like I see myself as literally up here, like the goddess of my reality. I see myself as like queen of my life. Like I am mother. I am all there is. I am literally the goddess of my reality. But I'm operating and I am showing up and I am behaving. No, girl, I'm on the floor actually, girl. No, I'm in the pits of hell. I'm actually. That's quite the contrast. So my identity and my awareness, because I'm identifying with all those negative emotions. I'm in the pits of hell. I'm dancing in the flames. I'm and the flames are in my awareness and growing, and it's getting a little hot. And it's hilarious now, dude, because I look back at that shit and like I laugh. Because it's like, wow, I used to live this way. Trash. I'm like dancing with the flames, but yet I see myself. And like the thing is, like, you do know yourself, no matter how far you are in your journey or how deep down you are in your life or how deep in the dumps you feel, you do know yourself. You just need to sit with self and figure out really deep down who you are and what you want and make your way towards that, right? So I'm sitting here entertaining nothing but like flames and bullshit. And I am like the goddess of my reality, right? And I'm seeing myself as like this wealthy, like badass bitch. And I am just like, super like elaborate and dramatic and beautiful and like everything and just like all there is. And like I see my tea, right? I see my tea, right? How the hell, how, how, you see the amount of work that needs to be done in order to elevate to higher self, to embody everything that I want, everything that I desire, to embody that God tier, goddess tier version of myself, to embody, especially as a mother. So like for me, I gave myself like no fucks given. Like I'm going to be a great mom. I am an amazing mom because I take that more seriously than honestly some of everything because of, my childhood or whatever. So I take that super seriously. So I told myself from even a while ago, like, I was going to be a great mother, period, and to have not only fulfilled that, but have honestly went above and beyond just for my motherhood, period. It's also made me reflect on how I've gone above and beyond for myself, and I'm just so happy that I've done that while my child is like still small, because this version of me, my baby will always have. I honestly am so thankful and I am so grateful. Like, I thank God. Like, even though I always wanted a child, even though I always wanted a family and I never like understood and all these things, right? I thank God that I actually did not have children when I was younger. My awareness and just who I was and who I was operating as, absolutely not. Because even though, no, I didn't have issues like what I went through with like my mom and all that stuff like that, but like I had my own issues that I literally needed to work through. And mainly I needed to really embody that version of myself that has everything that I would want, need, and desire in order to be that amazing mother. And I've done that. And um I've not let anything, anyone, any circumstance get in my way of that. And I have not cared because I've already achieved it. And to be honest, like I set myself up that way on purpose because I knew that despite anything that would happen, I would need to be the one to step up and follow through and protect baby and I and do whatever that needed to be done. And I've done that. And I am so proud of myself that I actually became a mother now, at 35, versus being one, oh God, versus being one at fucking 25 or even younger, or even fucking like a few years ago. Absolutely not. Like, absolutely not. Like, and it's crazy. And it's like, I do obviously want more children and everything like that. And, that part of my life, I'm just going to also let that speak for itself as well. Because that's just how I've learned to carry myself online now. Like, it's like, I am actually, I'd rather pop out and flex than talk about the goals and all of that. Like, you can still keep some goals or whatever in mind and like talk about, what is on your heart. But like, I've learned, and I had to learn this the hard way, that the most important thing is just pop out with your flex. Just pop out with it. Just bop. I got this now. Oh, bop. I got this now. Oh, bop. This works for me now. Oh, bop. That shit speaks more than anything. And I didn't understand that until, these recent years, right? And so it's like, my baby is downstairs, like, playing. My baby likes to, like, roll around and, like, squeal and, like, crawl around and, like, play, like, mini versions of, like, Catch Me. It's the cutest thing. I just had to check. My baby's at that awkward age where like everything is a squeak, a squeal, or a and it's like, are you in distress? Are you good? And it's like every time I check on my baby, like, and even though like, family's like visiting and stuff like that, like it's just like one of those things where it's like, are you in distress? But that's just like so off topic. But no, my baby's like all good, just like playing or whatever. And it's just at that awkward age where all they do is like squeak, squeal, and scream. And it's like, are you straight? Like, is all good in said hood? All right, now, so it's, what was I talking about? Right. Okay. Your identity and your awareness shape your reality, right? So I hope you all understood like the examples that I used, because it's like when you really sit down and think about it, like it's like, okay, of course, like life's not working out the way you desire because you're not operating in the way that you desire. You have to literally embody that. And I think that people who, watch manifestation content or mindset content, it's because they desperately want to change. Like they really want better for themselves. Like they don't want all this bullshit that they experience 24/7. They don't want to cycle. They don't want to spiral. They don't want to attract yet another toxic relationship. They don't want to attract yet another, unfortunate circumstance they had to dig themselves out of. They get tired. But unfortunately, what I find is people who've been through significant amounts of trauma and things of that nature, and this is not a limiting belief, it's just something that I have observed, they struggle a little bit more because it's really difficult, unfortunately, for them to really find that source, a subconscious, because I think that there's an unawareness there that your subconscious mind is like literally damaged. And so just because your brain has been trained to focus on trauma, negativity, and bullshit and things like that, that's not who you are. Like, I really do hope that you all got this message. Like, your identity and your awareness is what pertains to your reality. So exactly who are you being? If you're a person that's like always entertaining the next boycott, the next bad news, the next negative thing, the next, oh, like, what is your life like? Because something tells me that you might not be happy. And that's something that I just honestly can't relate to. But I get it because I used to be that way. It takes a lot to work your mindset to a place to where you radiate peace from the inside. And I think in today's society, too many people seek peace, happiness, and fulfillment outside of themselves. But then again, that's why their lives look the way they do. Your identity and your awareness shape your reality. So the next time you want to spiral, and the next time you want to talk about how much you hate everyone and everything, question yourself, who are you being?